Hi everyone, my name's Noah. I'm 20 years old. When I was 11 years old, my dad, who works for a pharmaceutical company, got a job opportunity to move to England. So in December of 2014, my family made the move to a town in the northwest of the UK. Shortly after we got there, we started to look for things for me and my brother to do outside of school. So I started taking karate lessons and started to play the piano, the things you do as a kid. But the main thing I did was this acting school. So every Saturday from 10 to 1, my family would drive about an hour to a town called Kendal, where I would take these acting classes, and it would be a 3-hour session of acting, singing, and dancing. But one time, during one of the acting sessions, I had a little bit of an accident. So during the acting session, we were all split up into our little groups. Our teacher broke us out into little groups, and the task for the day was we had little themes that we were assigned, and we were supposed to make a little scene for these themes. And my group's theme for the day was horror. And I guess I didn't get the memo that we were acting because I had a little clumsy moment. During the scene, I was supposed to get spooked or scared or something. I don't remember what it was, but I was supposed to go and hide behind a curtain that was in front of a big window. And I don't know who put a step in front of the window, but of course I ran to go behind the curtain, and I tripped, I jumped, and my whole left arm went through the window. And to give a little context, this building, these classes took place in Kendal's Town Hall, which had been built around 3 centuries prior to when I had the class, and it hadn't been renovated or anything. So these were original windows that from the 17 or the 1800s were not designed to be shatterproof or safe at all. So I pulled my arm out of the window, and it's pretty beat up. I was bleeding everywhere. I had to go. I was rushed downstairs. I was laying on the ground with my arm above my head, covered in towels. And my drama teacher called an ambulance. And around 30 minutes later, it showed up. And my parents, who were driving home, they actually got a phone call, and they didn't realize who it was from. And they almost missed coming back to come see me in an ambulance. But when they finally showed up, we talked to the ambulance driver, and he said, this is really severe. You need to, we can't drive you to a hospital. You need to get airlifted. So we drove in the ambulance to a nearby field where the helicopter was waiting for us. And so I got airlifted to a hospital in Liverpool. It was for a children's hospital. I was 15 at the time. And I guess the lucky thing that happened was when I fell through the window and cut my arm up pretty bad, you would assume I'd be in a lot of pain. But I actually cut every nerve in my arm. And so I wasn't in any pain at all the whole time. I was laying on the ground, smiling and everything, because I didn't understand what I just did. And I stayed in the hospital for about 3 days. It took about 9 months to recover from it all. But even though the doctor said that I was millimeters away from nicking an artery and dying, and I needed, they lost count of how many stitches it took to put my arm back together. My parents, actually in a hospital, as a patient in a hospital, the question that you're asked all the time when nurses and doctors come in to talk to you are, how are you feeling? What's going on? Rate your scale on a pain of 1 to 10, whatever variation of that question that you're asked is. And every single time my answer was I'm fine. I'm kind of bored. I didn't really have too much to do. And my arms were just sitting up. But thankfully I was well enough in the head that I could tend and care for my perfectly healthy, very distraught parents. And I was the one who was asking them if they were okay. I mean, I almost died, but people who know me, I don't really get too beat up about things that happen. So I was the one comforting my parents. So sorry for the scare, Mom and Dad. I appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.